Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is June the 18th, 2019. Strong hand, be a unique beast, value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Offended by selling your home for Bitcoin. Insider information. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. All right, on Friday, I already know who's going to be on This Week in Bitcoin. It will be on at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. in Los Angeles. We've got David Bennett and Bitcoin Tina will be on, along with a third guest that I'm working on. So tune in on Friday for This Week in Bitcoin, 2 p.m. on Friday. So there was a lot of crypto noise today, wasn't there? Oh my God. Libra this, Libra that, Libra. Everywhere you go, you see Libra. And I mean, we've covered this before the big announcement. I think most of you know my opinion on this, but still we have people that are pumped, that are a little worried. They still don't get it. So I'm here to keep your hands strong, people. So yeah, the Libra did pump up the crypto noise volume to an extreme today it was a bunch of noise basically. And it wasn't all FUD. It was mostly pumping of Libra, but that can FUD some Bitcoin people out, and some people can twist it into FUD. And I'm sure Zuckerberg would love his personal cryptocurrency to be a lot better than Bitcoin. So I'm sure he's pleased that he got a lot of noise going today. In the end of the day, stay focused because Bitcoin doesn't care at all. All right. Welcome to the realm of the big boys, Libra. Okay. So let's start with this, this classical crypto noise, a Drudge Report headline. Okay. I wake up, I think after my nap, Drudge headline was Dawn of Libra, Facebook's most dangerous surveillance disrupting the world. And that was in all caps on the Drudge Report. Oh, only Drudge. No one can do it better than them, trying to blow something out of proportion there. So it wasn't just us Bitcoiners and cryptocurrency hearing about this. It was the whole world hearing about this, political people talking about it. So that was great for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin, that now there are a bunch of noobs out there that, well, wait a second, Facebook's going to take over the world more through this magical cryptocurrency. What is this cryptocurrency stuff? Hey, again, I have said this before. I'm going to say it again. I think this entire development is incredibly positive for Bitcoin. And I am just looking at it as an observer, as a Bitcoin holder. Whatever Mark Zuckerberg wants to do, Mark Zuckerberg can do. It's not gonna change the underlying principles of Bitcoin at all. He creates a centralized cryptocurrency. It's probably not even a digital currency. That's great. It's bringing tremendous headlines. It's bringing attention to the space. People are going to get a hold of this thing, and they're eventually going to trade it in for Bitcoin. Again, we're only seeing the short-term results today, okay? Long term, this thing is very good for Bitcoin. Very good for, and short term, I see great things for Bitcoin also. So I know everyone loves to hate on Facebook and somehow twist it into, this is the end of the world type. Facebook is taking over money. As I said, I think it was on yesterday's show. It's waking up people to the myth that only countries can create money. They're seeing, oh, wait a second. My social media company is creating its own money. And that will get them more comfortable with Bitcoin and with cryptocurrency. And of course, other companies are going to copy this, as I said on yesterday's show too. So you see, all these people are saying things that I've been saying for weeks before this announcement was even official, and that my guests on the This Week in Bitcoin show have all had strong hands, have not worried about it. And there's really not much more to add to it. It's just there's a lot of noise around it today. Henry Law sent 25 Hong Kong dollars. Thank you. And he says, and by the way, people, question and answer, type in Bitcoin Meister. Type in Bitcoin Meister. I forgot to say that. I'll answer your questions today. Hold Bitcoin or keep paying tuition? I sold a tiny bit of my holding for the first time at $6,500 to do Forex trading, thinking it was the high. Now I regret. Yep, you should regret. Well, you can admit you made a mistake, Henry. That was good. Again, I'm offended by selling. You can see why I'm offended by selling. You thought 6,500, it wasn't going higher. You did Forex trading. Who the heck does Forex trading still, man? It's the 2020s almost, dude. This is the only money. You don't need to worry about foreign exchange, trading yen and trading euros and trading dollars. Come on, that's so 20 teens, man, or 1900s, man. We're going into the 2020s. Pound that freaking like button. All right. Moving on. Another positive thing about this this Libra coin, getting all this attention today, it's going to take some of the hits from all the virtue signaling politicians all over the world. Already we have low IQ Maxine Waters saying that she wants to investigate Facebook coin or Libra or whatever she's virtue signaling about, and there are other people that are agreeing. Great, let them be distracted by Facebook coin. Facebook coin is taking some hits, or Libra, whatever you want to call it, is taking some hits for Bitcoin. Good, thanks, Libra. Let them worry about Libra for First of all, I'm sure Facebook is a tremendous corporation. They wouldn't just jump into this if they didn't have some type of approval from the federal government. Okay, it's probably just a show. If Maxine and her buddies are saying they're worried, but whatever, they'll have their little hearings. It'll be Bitcoin will just it'll fly under the radar, which is great for us. Again, they can't stop Bitcoin anyway, but again, if they did an investigation into Bitcoin like they want to do in the Libra, it would cause some panic and some weak hands and through the noise. Oh yeah, this right here, this tweet from Eric Voorhees kind of sums up everything for me. Zoom out for a second and realize how far this industry has come. The biggest companies in the world are now launching cryptocurrencies. Boom. You're absolutely right, Eric. And Eric, you're not right about everything. But I've known of Eric for quite some time. I guess it's at least since 2014. It seems like, I don't know. And if we could think back to then, and now, back then, the biggest companies starting their own cryptocurrencies, no, it was just a pipe dream. Now, Facebook, yesterday's show, we talked about the FANG companies. Which one of the FANG companies will be next to launch a cryptocurrency? After the attention that Facebook got today, I'm sure it won't be long until one of them jumps on the bandwagon. Maybe it'll be Amazon. He likes being the richest guy in the world, and it's a way to get richer. Well, I guess his wife is. Anyway, so even the richest guy in the world gets half his money taken away from him. Let that be a lesson. Pound that like button. Hey, if you had it in Bitcoin, she wouldn't have taken it. Pound that like button. Now, moving on. What is this? Facebook this is from some guy named Zhao Yang. Facebook just created a digital central bank fully competing with the central banks across the world. It's likely the central bank policy of Singapore. It's the virtual nation state competing with payment processors, banks, and central banks across the world. There we go. That's what we've been saying for a while. I quoted Andreas Antonopoulos last week talking about this. It doesn't compete with Bitcoin. It competes with banks. Good. Let them compete with banks. Let them compete with PayPal. Great. I mean, that's and they're calling themselves a cryptocurrency. It's only going to inform huge numbers of people about Bitcoin in the long run. Free advertising. Keep doing it. Zuckerberg, do it, baby. And these newbies that are getting this coin, that are going to end up with it, there's some people out there that are, it's not a real blockchain. You think Facebook users care about what's a blockchain, what's not a blockchain? If it's easy for them to use, they're going to use it. They're going to conform. They don't care if their information is being stored. They don't care if they can be cut off. That's the whole point that we've been talking about FedCoin for all these years. FedCoin will be able to turn you off one day, but people will clearly opt into it because of the ease of use. And then they'll be like, well, I don't do anything wrong, so I have nothing to hide. I don't care if FedCoin they'll never turn me off. Again, that's why you got to be into big. That's Those are the benefits of Bitcoin. But that's for 20%ers. 80%ers never think that deep. They never think that long term. They don't think they're going to get turned off. They don't think banks can turn them off, blah, blah, blah. You know, and let them play over there in that realm. We'll be in the Bitcoin realm. They believe in Facebook. They love that brand. They love that brand. And it might be, and that gives Mark Zuckerberg the ability to print his own money because they believe his story. We've talked about lately, we've been talking about the stories of the story of money and that it takes faith for it to have any value. Well, they believe in that story. They believe in it. The 80%ers believe in it. They love Facebook. And this is going to be something very easy for them to use. And it'll be better than PayPal. Oh, and so all you people ripping on it because it's not really a blockchain. How dare they call it a blockchain? Okay, you're wasting your time, dudes. You're really wasting your time on that. Let the 80%ers have what they're going to have. Well, why? Why take away all their fun? Again, some of them will wake up to Bitcoin because of it and then know what a real blockchain is. Great, great education for the 80%ers. Love it, love it. Pound that like button. But guys, don't worry. Let it all play out. As long as the people watching this video don't buy Facebook coin, okay, and value their wealth in Facebook coin. And again, some of you think you have to sell the Bitcoin when it gets to a certain point for dollars. If you get into Facebook coin, you're guilty of the same type of thing of valuing your wealth in something other than Bitcoin. And it's personal responsibility is new counterculture. You will learn the hard way. And by the way, in Facebook's basket of currencies, they're probably going to have Bitcoin. I mean, they can't run away from it. They can't run away from it. It's great. It's great. But again, if you want to speculate on Facebook coin, if you think it's the next, you got another thing coming to you, dudes. You should. I am really offended if you sell your Bitcoin for Facebook coin. I don't even see how that's going to be possible. It'll probably be possible. I mean, I'm not worried about if it's possible or not. I've got my popcorn out. I am just watching this, and because I know holding my Bitcoin, I'll be fine. If Facebook coin collapses, if Facebook coin is great, go great, love it. And so, if any of this worries you in terms of Bitcoin, then you're either new to the space, or you haven't been paying attention, or you have a really weak hand. I mean, it doesn't hurt Bitcoin. It doesn't really affect you if you own Bitcoin. You still have the same amount of Bitcoin. It's not going to become the next Bitcoin. It's not even trying to do that. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. It's not just a saying that I say here. So, I mean, that's something you've really got to, if you're worried at all by this Facebook coin, you really got to understand the concept of Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Nothing is going to surpass it. Whether it come from the biggest corporation in the world, or whether it had the best technology in the world, some new altcoin, they're all altcoins. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. So yeah, again, I think a lot of you are like, Adam, we get it, but a lot of you don't get it. I mean, I've been saying the same thing on the show for quite some time. But again, this was the subject matter of the day. And I will give Facebook some credit here. It's a great way for them to venture into a new business, to expand their business model, to get away from social media, to distract people from them deplatforming people. I mean, it was a great PR move today too. I mean, people are talking about Facebook, but they're talking about it in terms of it printing its own money instead of it kicking off people, conservatives, and instead of it spying on people and having a revenue model that's unsustainable. Now, I mean, they've expanded their revenue model. They're going to print their own money. I mean, this is probably helping their stock price. Safadine, I wanted to quote him. He's got a good, again, everything I'm talking about is linked to below. When I reference specific tweets, you can follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, by the way, TechBalt. Libra white paper, initial analysis, the only digital currency other than Bitcoin that matters. Whoa, it could succeed massively, but it does not compete with Bitcoin. It reinforces Bitcoin's value proposition and will likely need to rely on Bitcoin if it succeeds, just like I said, with the basket of currency. Facebook has some 2 billion accounts and extremely detailed data on them. Its extensive data mining and identity verification capabilities means it has the potential to build by far the largest platform by user number of any financial institution. The key words there being financial institution. It is going to be a tremendous bank. Well, tremendous competitor to banks. Okay. So it might get some fight from the banks on the regulation side, but maybe then the regulators will let the banks print their own money next. Again, JP Morgan coin, they'll come out with their own coin. So then they won't complain. So yeah, let there be a Bank of America coin. Let there be a Wells Fargo coin if they get angry at Facebook making their own coin. Great. Let everyone have their own coin. But in the long run, Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. It is the coin. It is the truly decentralized one. It's the one that no one can all of a sudden print a bunch of. And again, they're going to censor. Facebook isn't going to let you send your Facebook coin to everyone. JP Morgan coin will do the same thing. There's going to be KYC with Facebook coin. Hey, I'm not going to get into that. We know what it's all about. But Bitcoin, you don't have that. And here, Pavel Rusnak says, I am a big fan of Libra. It's well written and the documentation is great. It has the potential to replace Ripple, Stellar, Ethereum, all stable coins, etc. For every other use case, when truly decentralized and uncensorable network is required, there will still be Bitcoin. So again, Bitcoin is the use case is truly when you need decentralized, when you need uncensorable. But again, Stellar and Ripple, they're trying, they're centralized coins, a KYC type of KYC coin. So this is probably not good news for them that there's a huge competitor that has all these users already. Is it bad for Ethereum? I don't know. I wouldn't have thrown Ethereum. Ethereum is different than this. Come on, dude. You don't have to be that much of a hater of Ethereum to throw them in with Stellar and Ripple. But no, I know Facebook is not going to kill all altcoins either. So. And I do take note that Libra is trying to come out in early 2020, which is, of course, before the Bitcoin halving in May of 2020. Coincidence? Who knows? But there seems to be a lot of projects that want to get off the ground before the Bitcoin halving in 2020, before the hype really gets started. We shall see. I'm putting my money on halving as on the 2020 halving, on any halving rather than putting it on some new altcoin. But hey, personal responsibility is new counterculture. You could bet on your altcoins, or you can just remember Bitcoin, limited supply, new supply gets cut in half every 4 years. 2020 halving, check out what happened in the 2016 halving. Check out what happens every 210,000 blocks. You fiat freaks, it's always more. Subtract 210,000 blocks from this day, Bitcoin is more than it was 210,000 blocks ago, and that has always been the case. Keep it going, Bitcoin, for the fiat freaks there. And finally, I linked to a Caitlin Long thread about Libra. It's very good. She explains things very nicely. She's been on the show before. All of you love her because she explains things in such a clear and concise way. She's great. All right. And again, a lot of people are asking about details of, well, how are they going to do that? How is Facebook going to get away with this? How are they going to put the coins in everyone's wallet? Are you going to be able to trade it for Bitcoin? You're going to be able to trade it for dollars. What exchanges are going to take it? I don't care about the details, dudes. I don't care at all. Let them figure it out. You shouldn't care either. Let them worry about it. I'm not dealing with it. You shouldn't deal with it either. If you have a Facebook account, you get some free Facebook coin in your account one day, then great, that's awesome. And you can't sell it for Bitcoin. Oh well. If you can, then deal with it then. Don't worry about it. Sit back like I am, relax, enjoy the free marketing for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We've got B Ruck sent $5. If you have the discipline to wait until retirement to touch your 401k, why can't you wait until retirement to touch your Bitcoin holdings? Strong hand. That's a really good point, B Ruck. A lot of people are incentivized because they're like, well, if I touch my 401k now, I'm going to get taxed. So, but it's the same thing. If you touch your Bitcoin, you're gonna lose too. You're gonna lose because you traded in for $9,000 now instead of trading it in the future for a lot more in value. That's a tax right there. That's you losing a lot of value on your investment. So yeah, you've got a good point there. If people can wait, if people set up a 401k with the mindset that they're going to wait. And that's what savings accounts are all about. So people should easily be able to set a buy Bitcoin and put it in their mind like this is a savings account. This is a 30-year bond. This is a 20-year, whatever it is. You put your own number on it. You can make up your own. This is a 12-year agreement with myself not to touch it for 12 years or else I'm going to get taxed. You get a great point there. Pound that like button. Epic Point B Ruck says Kakra Ditome, whose name I always mess up. Sorry, Kakra. But very good point, agreeing with B Ruck there. And remember, when you hold your own Bitcoins, you get crypto dividends. That's your public service announcement of the day. Yes, by controlling your own private key, you get the forks, you get the airdrops, the crypto dividends. That's interest on your Bitcoin. Now, over at CoinMarketCap, they list some crypto dividends because crypto dividends are just altcoins. It's a unique way of creating an altcoin and distributing it to Bitcoin holders, which if you're creating an altcoin, give it out for free to Bitcoin holders. Facebook isn't doing that, but hey, others will do it. Others have done it. And CoinMarketCap obviously lists many different coins, and there's confusion over what gets the circulating supply. When is it going to be added to some coins? And so apparently on the 14th, indeed, this past weekend, it said, this article, I linked to it below, the company confirmed over the weekend that 70.3% of all currently listed exchanges have fulfilled the expected requirements and will continue to be included in CoinMarketCap's calculations of volume-weighted average price and adjusted trading volume. So you can tell that some exchanges are now listed on the bottom and that their circulating supply is not being tossed into the overall number of these coins. The thing is, the rankings are still the same. And then some of the coins that were never ranked, okay, some of the coins that were never ranked that are on some of the exchanges that are cool are still not ranked. So they've separated some exchanges information from the exchanges that fulfill the requirements, okay? But they still haven't boosted the coins that didn't have circulating. They haven't listed some coins circulating supplies yet, even though those coins are on the exchanges that are fine with CoinMarketCap. So anyway, CoinMarketCap has implemented some of their changes. It isn't that noticeable. I mean, I'm sure some of these exchanges that didn't require the rule, that didn't follow the rules, aren't too happy, or maybe they are happy. They're still making money. All right, so that's enough of CoinMarketCap stuff. I wanted to update everyone on that because yesterday I said they hadn't changed everything yet. And in fact, they had changed things. it happened like 3 hours before the article came out about 3 hours before my show, and I hadn't checked it yet. So going back to a funny thing about Libra, here is Money Triggs has a tweet out there. Somebody launched Libra and get it on CoinMarketCap before Zuckerberg does. I'm going to tell you this, people. Someone will come up with an altcoin called Libra. I don't think they'll get it on CoinMarketCap, but it'll be a total scam just to play off of, because it's going to take a while for the real Libra to exist. So there'll be people out there that are going to try to trick people into like, oh, look, this is the real Libra. They might even spell it a little differently, and maybe that'll get it on CoinMarket. I mean, BitConnect got on the freaking CoinMarketCap. So if you made an altcoin that was a real altcoin and just called it Libra, and it really stood for nothing, this altcoin, it was just a complete pump and dump, this is probably going to happen. Something like this is going to happen, and people are going to buy it because they're just so impulsive and impatient and don't do the research and they don't follow the real news. They're just going to be triggered. Oh, Libra, this must be the real thing. Time to buy on this like Chinese exchange. Sad but true. Look for a Libra scam coming soon. Don't fall. I know you guys. I don't even want to say don't fall for it because I hope my viewers would never fall for something like that. Because again, you shouldn't even be buying altcoins, for God's sakes. And here is a tweet from a cat spit one. Practically, and this is interesting topic. Practically nobody that I know knows Bitcoin is at $9,300. Everybody still thinks it's going to zero or at all-time lows. This makes me believe there is no new blood entering, just old money adding to their stacks. they'll all buy over 20,000 at all-time highs. Now, we do know that Bitcoin has been getting into the news lately. At the same time, it doesn't seem like a lot of newbies are entering the Bitcoin realm, though. This guy's got a point. And I do run into people that are still, they don't exactly know what's going on with Bitcoin. They think it died or they think it's at all, just like this guy said. At the same time, the Bitcoin price is going up. So people are buying it. I think it's some of the same people that have been buying it all along. I think institutions are quietly buying it, but I don't see, and again, this is a hypothesis, and that a lot of new people have entered the space lately. I mean, during the whole ICO craze, we had all sorts of newbies coming in, and I haven't seen that many newbies coming in and buying, at least buying Bitcoin. So again, they usually get it. They usually buy it during like tremendous pumps. So some probably won't feel comfortable again until it's over $20,000. I don't know what you guys have seen, what you guys think's going on. Obviously, the vibe is clearly better in the cryptocurrency space, but are there a lot of new people in the space? I'm talking about individuals. Has it spiked lately? I think it's just people have gradually been coming into the Bitcoin space, and I don't think it's gone up very much. The gradual growth. We haven't had a spike lately, despite the tremendous. It's tripled in fiat price quite recently, but I would say, don't worry. The noobs will come. They've always come. It's all cyclical, and they will help pump it also. And some of them will complain, oh, I didn't know about it. Why did all those financial organizations buy it? Because that's probably who is buying it now. A lot of like entities, corporate entities that are vilified by all the 80%ers are wisely buying it now because they know it's one day closer to 20K. It's not just a saying, it's a reality. Bitcoin has, for all you fiat freaks out there, it's always gotten back to its all-time high. It's always 210,000 blocks later higher than its all-time high in terms of fiat. So the faceless corporate entities, they know they're buying. People who bought in the past, they're buying. It's sadly the people who really should be buying, who should be, instead of being in debt, should be rearranging their financial lives. They're the people who really should be buying to really change their lives. They're the ones who blame and scapegoat and are late to the party and either will never buy it or get it when it's over 20K. Okay, so that's the end. Pound that like button. That is the end of the cryptocurrency part of the show. I want to make a comment about yesterday's show. At the end of the show, someone talked about my sideburns, reminding him of the Rockford files. If the guy was joking, the guy was trying to be funny. I mean, whatever. You could poke fun at my. That's fun. I mean, that's all. That's what this is for. I mean, no fancy sets or graphics. You could say anything about my crazy hair or anything like that. But he brought up the Rockford files, and I think you guys could tell right away. Something snapped in my head, and so I mentioned it. It really made me happy. It really made me happy after the show that guy said that, because when I was younger, my father would say to me, there used to be this show called Rockford. He'd always say Rockford. He loved that show from the 70s, and he would tell me about it. He would try to find it on repeats, okay? He would try to find repeats of it on Washington, D.C. stations even, because you could get the Washington, D.C. stations in Baltimore sometimes. And so I hadn't thought about that aspect of my father for such a long time. And so I even emailed my mother about it, and she was so happy. And she said, oh, yeah, your father loved the Rockford. He loved that show. And he loved the other show that whoever the guy was that played Rockford was on in the 60s. He was on in the show, too, or something. My father liked that show, too. It was a similar show. I don't know. My father never brought that show up to me. But in honor of that, and my mom was very happy to hear about that. And so in honor of all that, I did a quick search on Rockford, and I linked to the YouTube video below. And I don't know, it's the Jim Rockford turnaround in the gold Pontiac Firebird Esprit. Apparently in the show, he drove this awesome gold Pontiac, okay? And my dad liked GM sports cars. My dad liked Corvettes. He definitely liked Firebirds and stuff. He used to bring home car magazines and show them to me and stuff. And so I'm sure that's part of the reason he liked that show. because the guy drove a gold Pontiac Firebird. But you guys can all check out the video, link to below, and see how cool Jim Rockford was in the 70s in this gold, doing the Jim Rockford. It was like they really called it that, the Jim Rockford turnaround. Is that what's it? The Jim Rockford turnaround compilation video. And they've got the theme music of the show. Again, I turned off the music because I can't listen to music during the morning period. But you can all listen to it. And so I just wanted to say that out there. And, sometimes you guys will say stuff in the chat or whatever that might be a joke or whatever. But I mean, that was good. That was good. And it made me think about something, put a big smile on my face, and made me think about something that I hadn't thought about for a while. And so you guys can all check it out and maybe find repeats of the Rockford files. And maybe I would like to get a gold Pontiac Firebird Esprit. That'd be a cool car to have, actually. It would probably cost more than a Tesla, right? Because it's a classic car. But they don't make gold cars anymore, do they? I like the color gold in the car. Anyway, don't buy a car. I don't own a car. But, one day when I'm super duper wealthy or whatever, maybe I'll just get one to just look at and think of my father or whatever. All right, guys, pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister. I mean, it is that kind of old GM, a Corvette or a Firebird from the 70s. That is a cool looking car, man. That is I see what my dad, he liked it when it was still somewhat modern. But now it's really a long time ago, a car like that. All right, pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Mike. You never know what you're going to get on this show, man. It's different from all the other shows out there. I'll tell you a personal story when I feel like it. Pound that like button. Bang that bell button. I'm the Bitcoin Meister. I'll say hi to you guys in the chat right now. Bye-bye.